Welcome back to So You're Interested In, the show where I break down an artist's discography in order to give you, the viewer, the best possible jumping off point in order to get into their catalog. On this episode, let's talk about the synth pop duo Mint Julep. Comprised of husband and wife Keith and Holly Kennefs, this project started as a test back in 2007. Keith basically wanted to make some music for Holly to sing over, so he crafted some shoegaze tracks and, well, the rest is history. Okay, I mean, not a complete history. I'm sure there are more hurdles to jump over than just that, but that's pretty much the premise here. Eventually moving away from shoegaze, this duo took their affinity for industrial and punk to help conjure up Mint Julep's soundscape. Heavily synthesized and drowning in reverb, the Kennefs really do merge the concepts of synth pop, shoegaze, and industrial in one neat tiny package. In order to open said package, you'll need to stick around to hear 2 albums and 3 individual tracks that I suggest you listen to before writing off Mint Julep. Let's kick it with the albums. The first Mint Julep record to check out is their 2011 LP, Save Your Season. Heavily disguised by the atmospheric swirl surrounding the LP, Save Your Season takes synth pop and buries it beneath mysticism. Don't know what I mean? After listening to the track Avery, you'll be picking up what I'm putting down. Despite the clear beauty in each note, there is still an overall sense of despair. The opening line of I lie awake, dreaming of landscapes and the rain sets the tone rather well. Think of this track as the sunbeams that slip between the clouds on an overcast day. The album's title track, Save Your Season, is another standout. Slightly brighter than Avery, the ascending synth chords lift you up as opposed to dragging you down. I wouldn't say there's a lot of substance in this cut, but it's still a very enjoyable tune. However, a song like Cherry Radio is dynamic and complex, pushing their synth pop tendencies to their limits. There's a push and pull from melancholy to optimism, only adding to this track's legacy as a malleable, sophisticated cut. The only song on this album that really tries to break the mold is Time is Distance. The smoke screens from previous songs have seemingly disappeared, as this is much more straightforward and driven. It has more of a post-punk feel to it than the majority of the songs that I've talked about, which really helps it stand out from the rest. Save Your Season isn't going to blow your mind, but there are some consistently great tracks on here that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Next up, I think you should spin their 2020 effort, Stray Fantasies. Continuing on their electro-pop journey, this record sees Mint Julep move away from the dreamier side of Save Your Season in favor of a much more synth-punk-focused project. The opening track, Blinded, will showcase this stark change. Yes, of course, this is still very synth-focused, but every electronic note and drum pound hits hard, sounding like a car crashing through a brick wall. There is very little bounce throughout the instrumentation, yet it's still gorgeous and infectious throughout its entire run. A much more fast-paced song comes in the form of the title track, Stray Fantasies. If you didn't think Blinded hit hard, then this thing is gonna wallop you in the face like a donkey kick. This is dense and quick, not leaving room for any errors, and exploding into an electro-pop fireworks display. If you needed a song with a happier feel to it, then look no further than Stray Fantasies. But as the saying goes, what goes up must come down, and that down comes in the form of Vacaras. This is the Mint Julep you've come to know on Save Your Season. Sure, the haze is lifted, but there is much more mystery than may meet the eye in this song. Holly's vocals are stuffed in the back, struggling to peep through the distortion. But it's in this struggle they allow the chief attributes of the song to flourish, basically making it a dance punk tune. While I personally find Stray Fantasies to be a bit of a flawed project, that does not mean there are not plenty of tracks on here, even for the newest of listeners. That'll conclude the album, so let's talk about some tracks. The first track to check out should be Small Memory from their 2016 LP, Broken Devotion. You could make a strong case that this is my favorite Mint Julep song. The whole world this cut creates is sprawling and gorgeous, bursting with energy in every bouncy bass note and shimmering synth. In some ways, it reminds me of some Kiro Benito tracks, the way the weirder instruments and grooves fit all together. Holly's vocals are gently laid upon the moving beat, seemingly unaware of what's going on behind her. This is one of the crowning jewels of their catalog, so don't miss out on it, or else it's a you problem and not a me problem. Another standout tune is Black Maps from the 2021 LP, In a Deep and Dreamless Sleep. A little deeper and a little darker than what you're used to, this cut has much more of a dark wave feel to it. It's shrouded behind this veil of smoke that only lets the loudest notes pass through, resulting in some fuzz and mild confusion. The textures on this are great, specifically the mixing and Holly's vocals. Everything blends together in a nice hazy soup, making Black Maps perhaps an accessible track for any incoming fans. Last but not least, you should give a proper spin to their 2021 single, Halfway. A light and feathery song, this thing kinda breezes by you. Personally, I love this song's construction because it reminds me so much of the music that comes off of Nothing's the Great Dismal. Plus, it is light in its loafers, gliding through the motions efficiently and elegantly. Trust me, you'll find other songs in their discography with more substance, but even then, Halfway is a great song to put on at any time during the day. And that will conclude my video covering Mint Julep. Links to all of the albums and tracks discussed here will be located in the video description box below. Scroll down even further to the comment section where you can let me know if you liked any of the albums or tracks that I talked about in this video. You can also recommend any artists that you'd like to see covered on this show. Just know that I have a bit of a backlog built up, so if I don't get to it right away, it's not personal, I'm probably working on it. Be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this every single week, along with a show called Stacks of Wax where I go through my record collection A through Z to really flex on the cool piece of vinyl that I own. But yeah, that's all that I got outside of my normal reminders to go and support your local record store if you are able to, along with the local artists in your area. And, well, until I see you next time, happy listening.